Hello there, friends! I hope you're ready for some more creative adventures. Today, we're going to craft a prayer and craft a story. Now, the story that we're focusing on this week has to do with the parable of the Pharisee and tax collector, one who prayed these fancy, lofty, bragging prayers, and the other who knelt and, was truly repentant and honored God more with his prayer. So we're talking today about how prayer is not a performance. Prayer is a conversation with God, and it's the way that we can communicate with him and can share what's truly on our hearts. We're also talking about how God does the work for us. We don't save ourselves, and nothing that we do can make us any better in God's eyes. He loves us no matter what. Anyway, we're going to celebrate that with a couple of crafts. So the first one we're going to make is specifically geared towards prayer. The second one is more based on the story itself. Let's get right to work. So, first craft that we're going to make is a prayer necklace. This could also be a prayer bracelet, I suppose, or a hanging prayer garland, or, it could be a lot of things, but we'll kind of go with the necklace as the basis, and then you can take it and do what you like with it. So we're going to start off here with some paper. Now, you can cut your paper into shapes. So perhaps you want to make the shape of a cross, or perhaps you want to make a star, which is much easier to draw than to cut, I can tell you that, but it can be done. Or maybe you want to make a lovely heart. That's always great. I'm going to cut out some various shapes. Now, to save you the trouble of watching me here just cutting random shapes, I do happen to have some special paper over here. This is really used more for stationery, but we can use it for our prayer chain necklace bracelet thingy as well. So I'm going to cut out some pieces here. Now, what we're going to do, once we've got all of our lovely prayer things, is we are going to turn these into prayer reminders. Now, this could be specific prayer requests. It could be things that we're thankful for. It could be people that we're praying for. It could be Bible verses. It's kind of like, it's just a way to remember the importance of praying. Now, you don't have to necessarily pray through all of these different specific things every time, but just a positive reminder of, hey, maybe you can hang this up in your bathroom, and while you're getting ready in the morning, you can say some prayers. So, for younger children, you can assist them to write these things down, or you can also have them draw pictures, or you can have both. You could have them draw pictures and help them. Either way, so maybe we're going to have these reminders here. Things like maybe something as simple as, Lord, have mercy, to remember that we're not always begging God for things. We're confessing that, hey, yeah, we mess up and we're sinners. And then we can say, thank you for grace. To remember that, yeah, we're saved by God, not by ourselves and not by what we do. We don't boast in our own actions or own merits. We boast in the Lord. And then maybe you have some specific things. So you could maybe have a section for family and friends. Or maybe those are two separate things. You can have a section for church, to pray for God's church or for specific people in your church. Maybe you have a reminder. This could be a thanks and a reminder. Saved by Christ alone. So these are all helpful things to remember. And maybe you even have a reminder of how to pray or what to pray for. Where to pray. So maybe it's in your room or in the bathroom or wherever it is that you'd like to pray. And so we can say we have a Thanksgiving we have reminders. We can say, God is mighty. We can pray to acknowledge God's attributes and thank him for them. And maybe we can also have prayer for my needs. Now, once you've got all of these prayer reminders, / pictures / oh, I was going to throw on some stickers there just for, a little extra pizzazz. Why not? Once you've got all your prayers written down, we're going to punch some holes. And now you can place these on. You have options. You can do pipe cleaner. You can do ribbon. You can do some sort of string. We're going to use yarn because it's pretty simple when you're stringing things to use yarn. But again, you can use whatever you like, whatever suits what you're using this for. So we're going to just string these along. And now, again, I can have this as, you can do both sides as well if you prefer, whatever suits your fancy. And you can have different shapes or all the same shapes. So this can either be my prayer necklace. I can string it around my neck, or you can have, there we go. You can have it as a necklace where you tie this off and wear it. Or if you want a really short one, you can do it as a bracelet. Or if you want a really long one, you can string these along. You could even knot them individually and then have it something that can kind of dangle down like a little garland. So you can always have it there in a certain spot that you pray for. Or wear it just for fun. Or make a necklace and then hang it somewhere else and you can go through it. So it's really up to you. Lots of options there. But there is our fun prayer necklace. Why don't I just go ahead and wear it? There we go. Why not? So that is craft number 1. Craft number 2, we're going to make in honor of the story. So this is more specifically about the story itself of this proud praying Pharisee and humble tax collector, and reminding us that God does want us to be humble and that we don't want to think too highly of ourselves. So we're going to kind of recreate this in a sense. We're going to start off with a basic piece of, we're going to have a piece of paper or cardstock or cardboard or whatever you like. And we're going to actually, let's do this on this one because it's fun and sparkly. So I'm going to make a couple of things. I have a strip of paper and I have a couple of strips of paper. So one of my strips of paper is going to represent the tax collector, and we're going to have him, don't worry, it's going to be a tax collector, it's going to be great. If you'd like, you can also use popsicle sticks to represent your characters, and in fact, I'm going to have a popsicle stick for my tax collector here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give him a little face, I'm going to give him some closed eyes, kind of a sad little mouth because he doesn't even look up to heaven. And give him some hair here. And then over here, don't worry, you'll understand in just a minute. Here's my Pharisee. I'm going to give him this headdress kind of thing because, you know, that's what they wore. And here's his face. And he thinks so highly of himself. He's so special here. He's got a big smile. And he's raising his hands to heaven and going, look at me, hooray, hooray, hooray. So here's my tax collector. And artist, I'm not. This, you know, just bear with me. So here's my tax collector. Oh, sorry, tax collector Pharisee over here. And we're going to show how each of these people, kind of model how each of these people prayed. Here's his praying hands. So we can give him some clothes. So my tax collector over here, we're going to glue him to this, and this is going to serve as the way that he kneels. And then I'm going to glue that to the paper. We're going to do something fun with my Pharisee in just a moment. So here we're acting out the story in a sense. We have this tax collector, and he's bowing low. And we'll give some captions to this. The story is from Luke chapter 18. And we'll say, humble yourself and pray. Might say something else down here like, don't boast or brag. And let me give you some captions to explain who these people are here. So we have our tax collector bowing down low. The tax collector bows to God. Now over here is where we're going to put our Pharisee. The Pharisee is puffed up with pride. Now, we don't want to be the Pharisee all puffed up with pride. We want to be, well, a little more like a tax collector, at least recognizing that we are sinful creatures. We all make mistakes. So here's what we're going to do to get my Pharisee puffed up with pride. We're going to do an accordion fold. So an accordion fold is basically a back and forth. So we fold on the line, and we flip it over, and then we fold it, flip it over, fold it, flip it over, fold it, flip it over, fold it. If you want to fold him up, you can. And now what's going to happen here is we're going to glue this to my paper as well. And of course, you can add extra decorations and extra fun settings. This is just showing you the basics of what we're doing here. So here's my Pharisee. I'll give him a couple more folds. And he thinks that he is just so special. Oh, look at me, look at me. I'm so special. I pray every day and I fast. Woohoo! Look at me go, yay. And then here is my bowing low tax collector. These are the two men that Jesus told a story about to remind us that it's important not to think too well of ourselves, but to humble ourselves before God and realize and recognize that He does everything for us. So there is our fun and three-dimensional interactive recreation of the story. Here is our fun interactive reminder to pray, and hopefully that gives you some fun interactive reminders and ideas of things that you can do with your students. And of course, there are many other things you can do and many ways that you can do this, but a few creative ideas, hopefully, to support you and bless your ministry wherever and with whomever it might be, including cats, because, you know, they need Jesus too, right? Anyway, we will be back again because we're here every week with new craft and children's message ideas, and we'd love to help you out. So have a wonderful week. Go make some crafts. Go make some disciples. See you next time.